it's like, man, how much technology would it have taken for one of those ancient races to come up with this? Like they had silk in China, right? Like why couldn't they come up with some sort of a wing that would let them like take advantage of some air currents and do some stuff? I'm not talking about fly, but
like if you ever put yourself in olden times and you're like, dude, I'd be a genius because actually I just know how to use a phone. I don't know how to make one. I know how to use a battery. I don't know how to make one. I can drive, but I can't.
Y'all got a 350 small block needs rebuilding? No,
you'd just be like a shitty Confucius where you'd be like, one day something like this is gonna happen, and they're like, really? And like, how? Tell us, future one. And you're like, oh, I can tell you more about like hockey stats. That's a sport that's going to be around. Like,
I saw a video today. It was called "How a Computer Works." It was 42 minutes long. Okay,
it's boring.
You think I'm going to be able to explain it to Neanderthal men or some shit and it make anything happen at all? No. Oh, they see the logic and the fucking binary and come on, give me that sharp stick. I'll show you how to.
Dude, if you brought a phone,
that's all I got.
If you brought a phone back with you with a magic English to Latin translator or whatever, ancient Greek translator, and you showed them the video, they would be pulling your teeth and nails out before you finished as like a witch. There's no way you could smooth that over.
I think the Greeks would have been more chill.
The Greeks, maybe they would think it was cool. Let's go Mesopotamia, way further back. Fertile Crescent. Hammurabi's still on the town.
Hammurabi seemed like a fair man. You know, I read a little bit of that cuneiform code, and it seemed like an eye for an eye makes a lot of sense. I think the Bible ripped off a lot of that. But I think wherever you go, you're going to have a hard time communicating, and we're just not going to look right. Like we're going to be too clean. Like we're going to be so clean that they'll look at us and be like, "What? Who doused you with water, boy?" That's the first question. And then like, why is your beard like that, or your hair like that, or why are you walking like that? Why are you shod like that? Like they're all wearing medieval fucking shoes or whatever. You got Nikes on. You're gonna cause a lot of problems right away. I would imagine.
They'll probably bully you.
They'll think you're. I feel like in ancient times they were always at war.
Would he not be a massive, strong?
I think
they just bring out Agrius and beat his ass.
Well, I'm not saying they'd been intimidated by like a guy that's 5 inches taller. Like 3 of them would just stab me with forky sticks, right? And I'd be gutted in the street. But like, I think that they would notice right away that we would stand out for all the reasons I named, and then they'd be like, oh, depending on the time period, right? I bet he's a Mongolian spy. I bet he's a French spy. I bet he's a Germanic spy. I bet he's a barbarian spy. Whoever their enemy at the time was, the bad guy that they the warlords like you. That's why I need the money to keep the whoever the bad guy is that's allowing him to extort his people and rule his people. You'd be one of them, and you'd be dead in the street. You start fucking talking into a phone, and it's talking back to them. Ooh, that's going to end poorly. One way or another.
Service.
They're going to hate that. They'll worship the phone and burn you. It's the one giving all the orders.
Yeah. That's true. They won't understand the concept of battery life.
Who now will be the carrier of the god? And you're like,
oh, yeah. You've stolen their soul in that selfie you just took.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I do have this part of me that wants to go find those blow their goddamn minds, and don't even break out the technology right away.
Pull handkerchiefs out of your mouth until you're their god.
Yeah, the little red ball thing, and do
I'd
coin
like to put
tricks.
a real scare into them right away and let them know that not only can I kill, but I can't be killed. So I'm thinking I show them some movies of like, maybe I show them some videos of me blowing up some cars first, right? Because that's gonna whoa, they're gonna be scared.
They don't even know what a car is.
They'll think it's a tank hippo or something. And then if they think I'm all powerful like that, I think that'll go a long ways into, harnessing them for the sweatshop.
I think you have to go into it leading with a lot of gifts, because you need
carrot over stick.
Huge amount of carrot, enormous amount of carrot, because if you've seen some videos of these uncontacted tribes, sometimes a guy just shows up with gifts. And they're just shooting arrows with like dart frog poison at him immediately. And so you need to put in their head, like, when this guy shows up, good things happen. Like, have an airdrop with a big crate of fucking Pringles or whatever you find out that they like. At the same time, you show up every time. They start to draw a little connection. When this guy shows up, the crate full of good things comes. And you have to give him more and more good shit, because otherwise they're going to think this guy's coming to try and be the new chief. And we're not going to let him be the new chief.
All that makes sense, and I can understand why you would think that would work.
Yeah,
but I think it might have been that guy I showed you with the python earlier that bit him. the guy was telling a story about uncontacted tribes in South America and how this one guy had a knack for like, they wouldn't run away from him. They'd look at him and they'd sort of like, if he lifted his foot, they'd lift their foot sort of thing. And he kept bringing them food. He'd make a big pile of bananas, literally. And then he'd leave the pile of bananas. They'd come, the bananas would be gone when he came back. They saw him put them down. He looks at them. He's like, hey, bananas. And he leaves. And they have this going on for a long time, years. They found him one day full of arrows, arrows. They shoot these 7-foot-long arrows, these crazy long arrows.
Yeah, ran out of bananas.
Like a porcupine.
Yeah. Okay, so the guy bringing bananas for years eventually got. And you think you're going to show up with an iPhone and firecrackers and startle them into submission?
I can have guns in South America, Taylor. I show up with an AR, right? I waste anyone with a weapon. First day.
I bet they're pretty fucking good with those bows.
But I feel like you could put on something that would protect you from bows.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like a sweater.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a sweater.
I think my motorcycle outfit might protect me from a bow and arrow. If not, it's close.
Yeah, they're not compound bows. They're not shooting
for their
that
own
hard.
good.
Yeah, but I feel like that would probably end like that last scene in 300 where it's just like arrows just blotting out the sky coming down. Like, that would.
Yeah, that is what would happen, honestly. Especially is it Sentinel Island? Where
that's what it is, yes.
Those are the islanders that'll fucking just smoke you. And if you try to land, they're like shooting the arrows like at you actively. Like, come a little closer so we can hit you.
Motherfucker. Good for them.
It's hard to even get to the gift giving stage because they're shooting at you before you reach sand.
That's why
that missionary guy tried to land there a couple of years ago and did not go well.
Yeah, I heard about that missionary guy where he like had in his head, he was like, I'm going to reach these people and talk about whatever.
God.
God. And he didn't last very long. Apparently, he thought that they trusted him. He thought that they had a good thing going, and then he just showed up one day for like the second time, and he never was found.
T-shirt can, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. T-shirt can.
Yeah. I'm not
going to put in the T-shirt cannon. Is it a T-shirt?
I'm going to be, fucking can of soda or like some baked beans one day or a bunch of potatoes.
You're going to fire cans of baked beans at them through a T-shirt.
I hit the chief's son right away.
They can't open it.
All right, we're going plan B. Lock and load.
I'll tell you what. Or like you're about to get it and you shoot like the Dr. Pepper over there and the guy like opens it and sprays him in the face and now it's war.
Screaming it burns.
Now they're pissed. Yeah.
During this whole conversation, at one point, Taylor mentioned Pringles, and I haven't thought of anything better yet. Pringles are going to be wildly popular in this place.
They're going to love Pringles. They would love like simple stuff like anything you could grab at a gas station. They're going to love. Beef jerky.
At a gas station. Why do gas stations have like 37 different kinds of Reese's peanut butter cups at this point? It's out. They're just put different shapes, different sizes, different configurations.
Yeah,
they put cookies in there, crackers,
be reconfigurable, so they can just do it. There's no. It's like you want to do brownies in there? Why the fuck not?
You know that Coca-Cola freestyle machine? Someone made one for Reese's peanut butter cups, and they're just mixing and matching bullshit all the time.
It's like Mexican food. There's not that much to it. Like
if you go to a convenience store somewhere in Scandinavia, like like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, something like that. 90% of the candy is black licorice in some form. It's salted, it's sweetened, it's lemon, it's black licorice in almost everything. But bring up the Pringles in this tribe. Oh yeah, but bringing up the Pringles in this tribe thing raises a good point. Like I've been all over the world and I have eaten some weird shit. I mean, I've had whale, I've had dog, I've had scorpions and horse and squid ink and half-hatched sparrows and bugs and all kind of crazy stuff. But to 99% of the world, like we are the ones that eat weird stuff because whether it's an egg or a bug or a weird part of an animal, like they still know where that came from. But like what is really weird to most people in the world is like a Hot Pocket or a Pringles. They're like, what in the hell is this made out of? Or like what is in this pastry pocket, like Hot Pocket thing? Like we eat so much stuff that is not identifiable as to where it came from. Everybody else in the world thinks that is really weird. Like eating a horse or a whale, like they know exactly where that thing came from. But you try to give them a Pop-Tart and they're like, what is this? Like, what is it? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
That we eat the weird stuff compared to most of the people in the world.
For sure.
That makes sense.
I had
It'll be like, oh, where's that horse
Mexico?
come from? Oh, the horse comes from that field where we killed the horse. It's like, oh, where does that ingredient from a Hot Pocket come from? It's like, well, it starts by emulsifying petroleum runoff waste and spinning it in a centrifuge, adding, the acid until it becomes kind of edible. And it's like, yeah, but it tastes good.
Kyle and Taylor, have you guys had bugs, like prepared bugs, grasshoppers or larvae or whatever?
No, I think not at all. Bugs.
It was 0% surprising. No, they're not. Christopher, you're lying to my audience. And I won't
they are good. Crickets and mealworms kind of taste like sesame sticks. Like bugs are kind of nutty tasting, except ants are like bugs that bite are a little tart a bit. But like what'll really blow your mind is like a spider, like a tarantula or a scorpion. Vaguely taste kind of like crab, like they're kind of arachnid style. So like you have to burn the hairs off of them, but they've got a vaguely kind of sweet kind of crab taste to them. They're actually not that weird.
Do you burn the hairs off, wrap it in like palm leaves or something, and steam it over a fire?
The ones I had been like burned off and dried, and they had them on sticks, and they were roasting them over like coals.
Yeah.
So they would kind of burn the hair off with the fire, kind of burn them off, and then they become like naked, and then they would just roast it. And
we know crab legs are expensive, Taylor.
Very much.
How much tarantula legs cost?
I guarantee they don't stack up to a nice
market value?
Crab leg.
What's
I
market
would
price
pay
on?
to never have to try one. That's my market.
Really?
value.
You wouldn't want to try a tarantula leg if it was on the menu?
they're kind of.
I don't like
crunchy.
spiders.
I mean,
I don't want to be around them. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to eat them. I don't want to feel it's because not every bit of the hair is going to burn off. You're going to feel a little like prick here and there of hair on the. It sounds awful.
I don't know. When I ordered the grasshoppers, they seemed to be unprepared. They tasted exactly like I expected grasshoppers to taste. I thought they would be masked by like cinnamon or something, but that's not how they made grasshoppers at all. They just put them on a plate. Before I ordered the grasshoppers, and you guys know this because I was on WhatsApp texting you at the time from Mexico, I ordered ant larvae. And they were out of ant larvae, I guess. So Jason's like, did they check under the trash cans out back? Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I got the grasshoppers, and they were just tasted like regular. They were like cooked, but they didn't seem to be seasoned or anything. They were just grasshoppers. I couldn't finish my plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would imagine the whole point of it seems like you like countered or found out the counter to that, but how on earth could you just eat bugs regularly without dousing it in cayenne or something to make you forget you're eating bugs?
Right?
Like it's
but to most people in the world though, eating bugs is just normal. Like it's not any weirder than us eating a Kit Kat or a Reese's cup. It's just something normal.
It's a little weirder.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, no weirder than like cutting random bits off of a pig or a chicken or something.
We pick the parts we want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because, if you showed up to a bug eating country and you were like, everyone, you want bugs today or pork chops? They're going to be like, oh, pork chops are available? Oh, then no, thank you, bugs. Like, whereas here, if they were like, hey, you got those pork chops? I got a big bowl of maggots. It's be like, no, you're not going to fool me. You're not going to swindle me.
You buy bug protein powder. It's made of bugs.
I didn't know.
It's super high in protein. I mean, they are, from a nutritional standpoint, bugs are pretty good.
It's hard to beat whey.